Hi, this is Brandon from ThirstGym.com, and today we're talking about the seated single leg box jump. This is a great single leg plyometric exercise for athletes to develop single leg power and speed. I will say this is a pretty advanced plyometric. Make sure your athletes can do general plyometrics with hurdles, boxes, and different types of plyometrics before they start doing them on a single leg stance. There's a lot of forces going through here. Not saying that athletes can't do it, and this is scalable towards your athlete, but if they can't master just a simple box jump, this is probably too difficult for them. So what we're going to need is some kind of box to sit on and a box to jump on. This box needs to be more sturdy than that one, but ideally you're going to try to find a box that's got a good platform. That way we can work on this single leg piece. Just like it sounds, we're going to sit on the box, we're going to jump from one leg and land on one leg. And what this does is, one, teach us to apply force and power through one leg. It's also going to teach us to absorb it in one leg. But the other really good thing I like about this, especially for athletes that run, the ground contacts are basically non-existent in terms of landing here, but by going one leg to one leg, you're going to see that as they go to push, that leg is going to come through flexion and back down. So it's going to look very similar to when they run, and when they run, we want to make sure that they're striking the ground hard as they run, and where they're not trying to necessarily overstride or pull themselves. We want to make sure that the feet look like this when they're running, and that is going to translate well over from this particular exercise. So what you're going to do is you're going to go from the seated position. One leg's going to have to be off the ground, so I've got my left one here in this case, but I'm going to lean back, push, and then jump as high as I can and still land it on the same leg. Okay, so I'm going to go from here, and notice how I turned that leg over really quickly so that I could land on the box. Here. One more time. This is probably a pretty good height for me. I probably wouldn't go up. I'm landing in a good position. I'm getting that good leg turnover. I'm having to push really hard off the floor. And then come back to start position. So as you can see, 24 inches is definitely a lot harder than if I used both legs, but hopefully you also saw that turnover piece for how hard, and you should be hearing your athletes, boom, hit that pretty hard, because if they're turning their leg over, it's coming down at a quick velocity to that box, and then we want to give a brief stick and then step off. Then we want to make sure we obviously do our other leg as well. You're probably going to find your athlete has a leg that they prefer to do it with. Me, myself, my right one. I'm sure if I had done my left one, I probably would need to drop this box to maybe an 18 or a 21. But that lets you know, hey, here's a leg that we need to work on from a running perspective, a strength perspective, a power perspective, and they're probably going to get some deficiencies brought up through your program by doing this, because they're probably neglecting that at practice or any other training that they're doing. So again, love this exercise. It's just a little advanced, but if you get your athletes able to do it, I think you'll find that if they are in a linear-based sport where they've got to run fast, this is going to work on that turnover, and it's also going to develop some really good, strong, single leg power. For programming purposes, I really like to start my athletes off with 3 to 4 reps to start off with, because again, as you can tell, it's a little bit advanced. Build up to doing 5 or 6 reps per leg for anywhere from 3 to 5 sets. This also works great for in-season athletes. Again, because we're doing it on the box, we're working on that turnover, and we don't have to worry about as much ground reaction, where if I was doing these as, let's say, hurdle hops or something of the sort, those are going to be a lot harder ground contacts, where with the box I'm bringing the ground up, so we're not having to land on it as forcefully. So if you got any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.